for you, like, what advice would you give for anyone who either wants to make it more practical in terms of like, well, how do I do cold outreach? How do I nurture a relationship or find mentors? Obviously, these are much bigger conversations, but what advice would you give to those people?
Well, I think each one runs a little differently. If you're looking for mentors, it doesn't hurt to shoot for the moon, right? You know, you might get Richard Branson to write you back, but probably not, right? Probably it's something about find the person, and I would encourage, instead of looking to the particular industry or thing like that, find the person that you respect, and try to really deep dive. Why do you respect them? Why do you respect their judgment or their attitude or their work ethic? And be more targeted and say, wow, if I want a mentor that's going to teach me about creativity, I probably don't want to use the mentor who's my best idea of work efficiency. That may not be the same thing. So try to align your mentors with the thing that you're what you admire most of them. When it comes to working with other people, I think the way I've managed to get along with so many different people in so many different walks of life is I try to really be like kind of their biggest fan. I just want to know who they are, what they're about, and genuinely become interested in what they're interested in. It helps to be ADHD because I never know what I'm going to find next that's interesting. But it's that idea that when you genuinely and authentically understand at least some part of that person's motivation or drive, you start to get a better understanding of them. And it might be that maybe you're working with some folks that are from India and you're like, I don't know anything about cricket, but they love cricket. And I'm kind of being very
I'm Australian, so we play cricket.
Copish about this, but honestly, most people in India really do like cricket. Yeah. But if you find somebody like that, you say, well, if this really matters to somebody, it's really important to them. If every time I'm on a video conference, I see this big sports team behind them, it's important to at least understand that part of them or what it is that drives them. And it can also be a great touch point for building social capital, because you say, hey, you know what? I really don't know anything about that. Would you mind telling me a little about it? But it must be genuine. It can't be a lack of authenticity. People will very quickly sniff out, a kiss up. That's not really what anybody wants, up or down the ladder. You don't want faint praise or false praise. You want somebody that actually is demonstrating a willingness to open themselves up. And something I think I've learned a lot, maybe it's always a growing thing because I believe you're always learning, is being a little bit more vulnerable. It's one of the things that when I was younger, I don't think I really thought much about, but as you get older, you start to realize as you're more experienced that leaving yourself vulnerable for a little bit of hurt or a little bit of disappointment is really kind of the best way to grow. If you're not vulnerable, if you're not sharing, if you're just trying to learn for the purpose of building capital, that it becomes it feels very exploitive. You have to actually kind of be able to willing to give and take a bit.
Love that. That's great advice.